Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night, October 2nd, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slickster's here. He's going to do some sports. Slickster, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your day?
Good day. Very good day. Ran into a viewer today at a breakfast meeting.
Really?
He's on watch you every night, Chris. Chris from Long Island. So he's nice to be recognized once in a while. Not happens often.
Well, you guys seem to get it all the time. I never get it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, whatever. But yeah, well, good.
When somebody sees you, you dive under the table. They remotely even recognize you.
You better be quick if you're going to try to recognize me. Oh, man. So, well, that's good. Rick Delgado's going to do some news when he gets here. Aaron Fran holding it down as always. And so I was thinking about the debate last night again most of the day, and just what an absolute brilliant performance J.D. Vance, I thought, put on.
Indeed.
And I was wondering if today I was going to feel the same way, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like, do you feel the same way 12, 13 hours later that you did as you were watching it live? Kind of like the presidential one.
Right.
You know, we kind of went back afterwards and said, all right, maybe it's, because you guys that night were much more like, Vin specifically, I remember, said this is not going to move the needle. In a week, people will forget it. And I was much more like, this is a disaster.
Right.
And I think he was probably more, he definitely was right. I think people forgot it after a week or so. It didn't really matter.
Yeah, they're not talking about it anymore.
Yeah, so last night I was wondering how I'd feel 12 hours later and thinking, well, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought, kind of the total opposite end of the spectrum.
Right.
But no, it was.
It was. I felt the same way.
It was as good as I thought it was.
Yep.
His opening answer, the way he took that answer and went into a little background himself first, then went back and answered it, brilliant. His overall performance, well, here's how well it was. Here's how you know that J.D. Vance killed it last night, because Jack Smith is at it again. Election interference, here we come. And so they obviously felt so strongly about that this thing is, remember I said, the only thing she can do in the last 30 days for me, it's like somebody hanging on and the fingertips are going, and you've got just a cup, and you're about to just crater down, fall down to earth. I think that's the only thing she can do at this point in this last 30 days is just, she's trying to hang on so desperately to this calendar that's worked in her advantage so far since they kicked Pops out and brought her in. And they knew the calendar would work in their advantage for him, trying to hide her from, speaking. But now she's being forced to do a little more, get in front of the camera more, do a couple interviews, which have all been a total bomb. Last night was an absolute, utter bomb for them, although he's better than her, which isn't saying much.
No, not saying much.
But, they are looking for November 5th to get here so desperately without just, having the last finger slip off the rope and there she goes. And I think that's all she's going to continue to do. And when you see Jack Smith's filing today and just absolute blatant election interference, total disregard for the Supreme Court, total disregard for the immunity, doesn't even care. You can't tell me that's not coordinated. You can't tell me it didn't. It's the judge. I have said how long on this show? Judge Chutkan is the tip of the spear in this whole thing. She has one job and one job only, and they got a little thrown off by the Supreme Court, but they are not going down without a fight before Election Day. They are going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at this, and today's just another example of that. Just another example of this filing. So we'll get to that a little later in the show. But, man, J.D. Vance was just fantastic.
He was.
Absolutely fantastic. Waltz is a moron.
Knucklehead.
And,
he's a knucklehead.
He's absolutely right. He's a total knucklehead.
That was classic.
After the debate, he went out for a slice of pizza, I think, with his wife.
You're kidding.
And someone said, "What? Can you clarify the school shooter deal thing?"
Oof, that was
no. There was no clarification.
How could he slip?
And then no clarification again today. Now, I saw over at Just the News that maybe he did actually clarify it at some point today. It wasn't last night. Tim Walz clarifies friends with school shooters line, so I was right. Minnesota Governor and Democrat Vice Presidential hopeful Tim Walz on Wednesday clarified a comment that he has become friends with school shooters as referring to becoming friends with people where there are shootings. The governor made the awkward gaffe. Became friends with school shooters, he said. Walz clarified the comment during a campaign stop in Pennsylvania today, where he told reporters that he meant people who had been impacted by school shootings instead of the shooters themselves.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Seems like a, I guess in the tension of it all and the nervousness of getting just whooped, the words were coming out, I guess, faster than maybe the brain was working.
Yeah, and I thought that on a few moments with him. I mean, I was impressed at how quickly he was able to talk, kind of like me. But I honestly, yeah, he was doing a little too fast. But body language experts were reading about him, speaking about his language. Pure liar.
Body language is in that guy. That would be can we get him to do some body language of when he gets off the plane? And could anyone describe what that would be? A body language expert in Tim Walz would be like pay-per-view television.
Right.
Right?
Total.
Even today, I mean, that guy has got some weird energy, man.
I know.
Just weird. The hands and the arms, and he's looking down as he's walking, and the arms do this, and it's like one does this. I mean, a body language expert would have to get paid overtime to figure that guy out.
I know. We don't have that Tom Selleck, Don Rickles picture, do we? That side by side.
No, but I like the one. I like the one that had the deer in the headlights, and then Waltz underneath the deer in the headlights. Which one was more of a deer in the headlights? I don't know.
I mean,
so there's a bunch of them out there. But
that guy looked so out of sorts. He really did.
I mean, he was real shaky to start. He stabilized a little bit. Again, I think he probably overall did better than Kamala did, which is not saying much. But he just got his clock clean.
He got Tiananmen toasted too on that one.
Yeah, I mean,
square.
Yeah, we know he wasn't.
I got the
there
marshmallows
for that.
out for that one.
He wasn't there for that massacre, but we were all there for that one last night. So, so we'll give you. So I did see this. Speaking of just, again, I think this kind of leans to the whole J.D. Vance. And again, if you've listened to, if you they tried to characterize J.D. and they could get away with it across the country in left-wing media for as long as they could keep him away from a situation like last night where 60 million people, if not upwards of 65 million, which is a huge number for a VP debate, huge number, actually got to see him. So the ruse was over last night because people actually got to listen to him and watch him and think, well, this guy doesn't seem that weird to me. Doesn't seem that weird at all, as a matter of fact. Pretty good-looking guy. Pretty smart, intelligent, articulate. Seems pretty cool. I could hang out with this guy.
Very intelligent.
Articulates the policies for the Republican Party and for this ticket, by the way, better than anybody else on the ticket or in the party. So...
presidential material. That's what I felt when I watched him last night. That's another discussion whether you think you want to see him as that or whether he's ready for that. But I mean, there's no doubt he's ready for it. He put that to bed last night. Give him 4 years to grow into it.
I mean, there's other people who'd be ready too, but he was absolutely fantastic.
Fantastic.
His knowledge of the issues, his ability to break them down, some of these complex issues for way people to understand, I thought was just fantastic. And so to the point was I saw this headline, Fox News simulcast. The Fox News simulcast of the CBS debate was the highest ranking broadcast of the VP debates. So Fox's simulcast had a higher rating, 10.4 million total viewers, than did CBS, who was actually the host of the debate. Wow. Delgado, how are you?
I'm good. I just want to say hi to everybody.
Yes, you've got that. You've got kind of that Tim Walz energy. A lot.
Speaking of body language,
where's the body language? Where's the body language expert for you?
What do you mean?
We know what we mean. During the debate from 9 to 10:45, Fox News aggregated a 7.7 million total viewers. Fox Broadcast Network averaged 2.4 million. Fox Business Network averaged another 255,000 to give Fox News Media a total of 10.4 million throughout their 3 stations. During the same time period, CBS, who hosted the debate, averaged only 9.1 million, which is still a good number. ABC averaged 6.1 million. NBC averaged 5.4. MSNBC managed 4.6. And CNN settled for 3.2.
Oof.
Fox News Democracy 2024 pre-debate coverage with Brett Baer, Martha McCallum, Jesse Waters, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity was the highest rated in all of television with 4.8 million viewers leading into the debate. So I think the overall number I saw was about 65 million for a VP debate. That's a lot of people paying attention.
Yeah, that's a lot. And again, what did I tell you would be the big thing? Most people won't watch it. The most of the most memorable things will be these little clips that we all saw today, right?
But what do you mean? People did watch it. That's a record-breaking number of people watching a VP debate.
No, I understand that, but most people, I'm saying most people didn't watch it, and they'll go to X and Getter and stuff, and they'll start looking for clips, and they'll see the guy who made friends with school shooters and how he could answer the question about where he was at Tiananmen Square. Was he really there, or was he not there? They're going to see all that stuff. And they're going to see him. They're going to see basically Tim Walz. I don't know about you, but I noticed a lot of times he was nodding along with J.D. Vance. I think Tim Walz is going to be voting for Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
I do too.
I noticed Simone Sanders get a little ticked off about that on MSNBC. To that point, she says, if you're going to agree with J.D. Vance so much.
I know. They really got their panties in a bunch over that.
Oh, they did.
By the way, some people on the right were the same way with him. Thought he agreed with Waltz too much. Thought there was too much common ground. And of course, how could there be any common ground with this party that's far left as they've moved? So you had it on both sides when it came to that, actually. That they thought there was too much
agreement,
kumbaya.
Like they thought they were too civil with each other. I think that's what it was. I think that they were upset. They were too civil with each other.
You know what most people think. The problem is people watch this and go, "What is our politics? Our politics is divulged into 2 absolute gold-plated phony morons sitting at a desk." Asking stupid questions and then giving these people 2 minutes with their canned answers to answer it, and we just leave learning pretty much nothing. That's the majority of what I think people, if they just baseline it down to the most basic way to describe what most people feel about these things, that's what they feel. The moderators are absolutely embarrassing. The questions suck, and they've only got 2 minutes to spout what's pretty much a canned answer.
Yeah.
So, all right, just getting started. Live from Studio 6B. More to do. We're back right after this. Chat. What's going on, chat?
How is chat?
Someone said fix the chat. What does that mean?
Uh-oh.
So it looks like Twitter did an update in the chat, and it's very different for some people.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I'm about to find out.
I know the pop-out chat works differently than it used to on a web browser.
Come on, X. What are you doing?
Come on.
And some people were saying that they could see who was chatting, but not what they were saying, which kind of defeats the purpose.
That would definitely defeat the purpose.
No.
Bill Edwards on Facebook.
haven't
Hello.
seen anything.
Mary, hello from Georgia on Facebook.
2 series.
Really?
Possibly.
Gary says, I agree with Damon. Gary's the one.
Gary,
Gary, get off that
US
couch,
bombs.
Who Dat
Gary.
Nation on X. X is messing us up, he says. Come on, X.
Gary, get off the couch, Gary.
Gary, US
Hey,
bombs.
Damon, good
Gary.
job after the debate.
Gary, get off the couch, Gary.
Wait, I got it from you.
Thank
Get
you.
your fat ass off the...
That was fun doing the after debate with Grant and them. That was fun.
Oh, boy.
Someone said, please smash the like. Yes, please.
Please.
Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already.
Well,
I usually don't like to go that far.
I thought
yeah.
you leaned more to the right, Delgado.
I am.
Delgado's leaning left a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's leaning left.
Rick Pico Delgado, someone says on X.
I think so. I saw
Damon,
it.
hello. Jesus, hello on
that better?
YouTube.
Am I better now? I got framed up. Shot.
Rick Delgado.
Want to wish a happy Rosh Hashanah to all of our
Oh, yeah.
friends of the Jewish faith.
That's right.
Damon, why isn't the after debate on YouTube? I don't know. I'm not sure what Real America's Voice posts where and what.
Buccaneers and Falcons tomorrow night. Come on, Aaron. Atlanta's laying 1.5.
Greg on Facebook, hello. Bucky's fan, what's going on?
Greg the
YouTube?
leg, right, Aaron? Wide right.
Randall says, finally, Delgado is here.
Oh, watch your mouth.
Damon, what would you do with your 750?
Yeah,
I don't know what
that sounded like dirty words.
Aaron's got potty mouth.
Yeah,
Damon,
she
why
does.
can't I see my chats? Dave, I don't know what X is doing. I have no idea.
Well,
I
hey,
don't
watch
know.
your mouth. What do you think you are, Joe the Boxer?
I don't know.
Joe the Box.
Joe DeBox cursed on the broadcast
Ooh,
last night.
I was listening, going home.
Oh,
Joe-
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice, on a Wednesday night, October 2nd. Slick's going to do some sports coming up. Delgado's going to get some news going. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. I want to thank everybody for watching last night. We had good numbers on the VP debate stream. A lot of people sent me a lot of nice comments about my after stream appearance on Real America's Voice, which was fun. I didn't get to talk to John Solomon, but I loved talking to Grant. He's fantastic.
He is.
And Mark, of course, great too. So it was fun to do that. And it was actually an easy one because it was so, it was so clear cut how the night went. It was so easy to talk about the positives and the negative, and there wasn't many negatives. So it was good to do. And of course, Real America's Voice, all the people behind the scenes always do a great job and did again last night as well. And the events are coming hot and heavy as we head into these last 33 days. 33 days. 33 days away. Slick said to me, I kind of took the day off today because I had done like 3 streams a day for like 3 days, 4 days in a row. So I did some other things this morning, and I apologize if I should have said something on social media, but
Just
kind of hanging around the old Gnomestead.
Slick said to me, what happened to the polls?
And Damon said, I have no idea.
And I said, well, let's go take a look. Aaron, don't laugh at it. Please don't encourage these two buffoons. I'm trying to not react to anything they say with the word gnome in it.
Yeah, he's gonna get mad at us and send us gnome.
No mo.
So, because they have gnome talent over here, so please
We're working for no money.
don't encourage them. Battleground states. Let's put it up, Aaron. Since Slick asked me and I hadn't looked, so let's look now. We can look live on the show together here. Pennsylvania, Trump v. Harris right now, tie. And Trafalgar has Trump out 3. Atlas has him out 3. And the most to have her out is, of course, Bloomberg. Bloomberg has her out 5, which is ridiculous. There's no way she's out 5 in Pennsylvania. She's down in Pennsylvania. Let's go to North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina up Trump plus 0.6. Emerson has him plus 1. Washington Post plus 2. Biggest lead for him is Rasmussen plus 3 in North Carolina. And again, I don't know how current events, what's going on in North Carolina, but I can't see how it would help her. Has she even been to North Carolina? I don't think she was in Georgia today, right? With the phony photo ops. Wasn't that in Georgia today she was in?
Yeah.
Oh, now I know what somebody in the chat was asking me. Okay, got it. Yeah, I mean, whoa, telling us, you just lost your house and whatever. Don't worry, you got $750 coming from the federal government. You see the new map that's out there that's drawn that renames Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, erase those names and just write Ukraine on top of all three?
Yeah.
And that way you could probably get some assistance?
You'd probably get billions then.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you mentioned that clip. Here we have Kamala Harris cut number 4. As she rides to the rescue, Damon, announcing she's going to be throwing away cash. She's going to make it rain cash for these people who are so devastated and affected by the storm. This is cut 4.
And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
Can't wait to spend that.
Can you buy groceries with it?
Right, exactly. In under your administration, how far is that going to go? That's barely a trip to Costco and fill up
some
your tank of
gas.
That's
right.
pretty much $750.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
And you know what that's reminiscent of? When you hear that number, it's the same number they were throwing around. They made it rain in Hawaii. Remember that? For the fire victims who lost they lost houses, they lost everything. But here's $750. Woo, boy, you're gonna be riding. Oh man, that's a night at the Regency. Woo, and then good luck.
Georgia, right now, Trump up 1.5. Quinnipiac has him out 5 in Georgia. That's the biggest lead. The only one that has her out is Fox News, +3. A couple people have it tied. Trump up the aggregate, though, +1.5. That's in Georgia. Wisconsin, where the president just spent some time. RCP averages Harris plus 0.8, so just a little bit under 1. Trafalgar has Trump +1. Atlas has Trump +2. The Hill Emerson has Trump +1. Biggest lead for her is Marquette, who has her out +4 in Wisconsin. Let's go to Michigan. Michigan, Harris 1.3 in the aggregate. Trafalgar has Trump up 2. Atlas has Trump up 4. Biggest lead for her here is Marist. Marist has her up 5 out in Michigan. Minnesota. They have her up 4.7 in Minnesota. And if anybody from Minnesota watched the debate, that might be coming down over the next couple days. But right now, 4.7. Her VP probably didn't do her any help in Minnesota, I would think. But +6. KSTP Survey USA, I have no idea who that is, but they have her up 6. Arizona. Let's check the Senate. Let's check Kari Lake here in Arizona, too. The numbers from her maybe moved a little bit for her, I heard, maybe. RCP average Trump is +1.7 in Arizona. Emerson has him up 3. USA Today Suffolk have him up 6. And then the Cook Report and Bloomberg have her up in Arizona. Nevada, Harris +1.1. Insider Advantage has Trump +1. Rasmussen has him +1. Remington has him +1. So very tight, at least according to this in Nevada. Let's check the Virginia numbers. Again, we keep talking. This would make it an early night if there's any surprise in Virginia. Right now, these say maybe not. +4.8 for Harris overall. Rasmussen has her +3. The Hill Emerson has her +8. Washington Post has her +8. New York Times Siena Poll has her +5 in Virginia. Let's do what's the Senate race in Arizona? How's the Kari Lake numbers looking? Down 7.6 on the average. Some have her at +11, +13, +13, +10. No, so still just a drubbing. Still a drubbing in Arizona. So Slick, I would say no. It probably didn't have much of an effect, at least from the last time we looked at the Real Clear Politics.
Which is what you said right going in.
Yeah, these things... although I do think last night had the opportunity to probably move the needle a little more than any normal VP debate because it was just so so one-sided, and this guy's been characterized in such a way, and he's everything but that, and he showed that last night.
And let's be honest, the polls aren't everything. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to vote, obviously, millions and millions. And they watched last night and they saw you're one heartbeat away from a guy like Tim Walz. That's scary. That's really scary. You're one heartbeat away. God forbid somebody was killed, one of the presidents. So, where you got J.D. Vance, who looks like somebody that's, in 4 years really could lead this country after a good seasoning under President Trump, in my opinion. I really do feel that and believe that after watching that debate last night and getting to know a little bit more about him.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll do some sports, and we'll do some news live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice. We'll do that when we get back. Slick's got sports. Delgado's got news. We'll do it.
Baseball upsets.
Woo. We got music, friend, not working. All right, we're back right after this.
Oh, good. That's right. You said you were going to be out for 2 days. Yeah, but that was last Friday. Man.
All right, live in the chat. Chat. What's going on, chat? Chat, what's going on, chat? Chat, what's going on, chat?
I haven't been in the chat for a couple
People don't like the polls, I'll tell you that much.
Hey, you can't trust those things.
And Real Prince Doll says 750. That's what Slick Rick tips his shampoo girl. Shampoo.
Slick couldn't even get his hair cut.
That
if he
Prince
was down
Doll's
there.
right on the money. I'm going Saturday. I got to pull up the Brinks truck. No, I'm going.
Slick couldn't even get his hair cut with that.
$750. Forget about it. You can't even get a good suit with that. Yeah, you can get a decent suit for $750.
Just someone explain. No, seriously. I mean, I've said this before, but I just don't understand. How is she getting drubbed in Arizona? What am I missing about this? They all can't be that far. I mean, they all can't be 13 points off.
You know what? I think
don't tell me that, because that's just not. Come on.
I think that's part of the shenanigans that are going on. Hey, let's do this. And
what does that mean? Can you put? What do you mean?
In other words, you know how they would focus? They're focusing on certain races, and I think this is what they're doing. I think they're willing to throw away the presidential race to grab the Senate and the House.
But their road to the Senate is very, very. It's never favored them. It's been very, very hard, even figuring him winning.
No, I understand that, but that looks more. I believe that looks more winnable to them, because I think they realize. Look, she was always going to be a long haul. A long haul. And there was only so much they could possibly do. And I think they realized that, so they started focusing on these other races. Look at the battle Ted Cruz is in Texas.
Ted Cruz.
You know, what is it, down to 2 points?
Ted Cruz.
And the guy he's running against is a lunatic.
But they got big money.
But they've got huge money focused on these big other races. To so Trump could end up in the White House. Oh. But not have the capacity to do anything,
one arm tied behind
because he'd have the Senate and the House against him, so he couldn't get anything done, right?
Well, only executive orders, but it served Biden well. So what the hell's the difference? Let's go to Poly Market. I think that's where you got to spend your time, anyways.
Well, because you want to avoid what happened last time. As soon as he left the presidency, they undid all his executive orders. So if you can codify it into law, I think that works out better for the country.
Well, forget that. With the even if you have a Republican Congress, look at what they've done so far. 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's got some news. We were talking in the commercial break about some of the polls and why they are where they are. And I thought, we should go to Polymarket and see what Polymarket, because, of course, that's really the betting market, which I trust way more than I trust any poll. Way more. Where the real money's going. Guys in Vegas don't get these things usually wrong. So let's do some sports, and I'm going to start looking through what Polymarket has on some of this stuff, and we'll see. I can tell you right now, they have the presidential election winner as Kamala Harris 50, Donald Trump 49%. $1.1 billion in volume bet. Harris 50, Trump 49. Razor tight. Razor tight. So we start there, and we'll look at the other ones. But let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use. If you go to mypillow.com/LFS6B, it'll take you to all the best deals just for this audience. And then you can use promo code LFS6B at checkout for absolutely a great savings. And I was wondering how MyPillow would be affected by this strike.
Oh, that's right. Bringing stuff in. I thought
you might want to plan. I mean, I don't know how long this thing's going to go. But boy, I tell you, I think it's going to affect. We are the absolute losers here in this deal, is the U.S. consumer, and I think it's going to get worse as the days goes by. Yeah. So, but anyways, promo code LFS6B is the code to use. Slickster, what's going on?
All right, Major League Baseball is what's going on, Big D. Some big upsets today.
How the Mets doing?
Well, let's get to the Mets game first. National League wildcard game out in Milwaukee. Game 2. Mets right now leading the Brewers 3-1, bottom of the third.
God, Frank the Tank's
it's early, but the Mets with a win tonight, Big D, will move on in the playoffs. They'll move on to the National League Divisional Series. Speaking of moving on, boy, Kevin must be out partying tonight. His Detroit Tigers just swept the Astros. The Houston Astros are gone. The Yankees' nemesis, Rick, they're gone.
Yeah.
The Tigers, 5-2 over the Astros, took game 2 down in Houston. That is a real shock. You're looking at the Detroit Tigers, a team that had not made a playoff appearance in 10 years as a franchise, had gone in and beat the Astros, who probably were, odds on there to give the Yankees a run for their money, because I think the Yankees are going to make a deep run. Speaking of deep runs, how about this one? The Royals knock off the Baltimore Orioles. Series is over.
Series is over?
It's over. The Royals won 2-1, and they took game 2, and they take the series 2-0. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Unbelievable. So the Tigers are going to play the Cleveland Guardians, and I tell you, just for that name alone, I'm going to be rooting for Detroit. I promise you that one. Besides, I want to see Kevin smile. And then we have the Braves taking on the Padres. That's an 8:30 first pitch. San Diego looking to wrap that series up at home. They're already up 1-0. So, boy, that's just amazing. I am shocked to see the Orioles gone. I mean, they were a good team this year, and they look like, they were in first place for a little bit there, too. The Yankees held them off to take the division, and then the Detroit Tigers. So, really exciting baseball news. I'll keep you posted on the Mets. Bottom of the third right now. Milwaukee has a man on first and second, so stay tuned there. Hopefully the Mets pitching for the New York fans can get out of there, but I got a feeling I have the Brewers tonight. I think the Brewers are going to win that game. I think they're going to come back. I don't see the Mets being that fortunate to sweep the Brewers, but we'll see if I'm wrong. I might be. And let's stick with the baseball team. Of course, what's been weighing on my mind, besides obviously the vice presidential debate yesterday, was this whole Pete Rose story. And then, of course, yesterday they revealed the cause of death, which was a combination of hypertension. Obviously, for lack of better terms, an old clog of the arteries there. He had, some calcification there in his heart, and as well as some complications with diabetes. So I'm not sure how well Pete was taking care of himself. I don't want to speculate. Listen, the guy had a big heart his whole life, his whole career, but he did not look good, Big D, when I saw him in that picture Sunday with Tony Perez, Ken Griffey Jr., George Forster, when they were at an autograph signing engagement in Nashville. That was his last time with his brothers. He was seated in a wheelchair, which is never a good scene, right? So AP report, Pete Rose still not going into Hall of Fame. His major league ban was permanent
not lifetime. So we're going to see about this AP report. Pete Rose still isn't going into the Baseball Hall of Fame. The president weighed in on this as well. While the career hits leader, banishment from baseball 35 years ago is often referred to as a lifetime ban, and his death this week led to some to believe that would end. Rose agreed to permanent ineligibility from the Major League Baseball following a probe of his betting on the game. Anyone on the permanently ineligible list can't be considered for election to the Hall under a rule adopted by the Hall's Board of Directors 1991. Rose's status didn't change when he died Monday, 83, of natural causes in Las Vegas. That certainly won't stop the debate about whether the 17-time All-Star with 4,256 hits deserves inclusion or how to be posthumously inducted. The great Pete Rose just died. He was one of the most magnificent baseball players ever to play the game. He paid the price Major League Baseball should have allowed him into the Hall of Fame many years ago. Former President and Republican candidate Donald Trump wrote on the social media platform Truth Social, repeating a similar plea he made 4 years earlier. Do it now before his funeral. Imagine. The Hall of Fame's board adopted the rule of 1.5 years ago after Rose agreed to the ban, and the same year that he would have become eligible to be on the ballot for the first time. It was obviously aimed at Pete Rose, and from the day forward and to today, my position, the position of millions of others is, yeah, we get it. He broke the cardinal rule. He should be banned from baseball under that rule for life. Longtime broadcaster Bob Costas said Tuesday on ESPN. He's another piece of work. But Fay Vincent, the former commissioner, Big D, he also feels very strongly that Pete Rose should not get into the Hall of Fame, even though he's passed. To me, nonsense. I think it's BS. Rose should get in there. You know what? Do that. If nothing else, do it for his family. Do it for his legacy. You know, him having his bat for his 3,000th hit and his 42-56 bat. I tell you right now, I will never walk into Cooperstown. And I've said this since I'm a young kid. Never would go to Cooperstown because of the Rose banishment. And if he does go in, I promise you, I will be up there, Big D. I'll do a live stream for you. And it's a wrap in sports.
Okay. This Fay Vincent interview brought to you by DraftKings. I mean that's
the joke.
That's right.
That's the joke.
That is the laughable part.
Yep, that's
of
the
this
rub
whole
that
Pete
rubs me
Rose
wrong.
thing. It should have ended. He should have been inducted the day that Major League Baseball signed with DraftKings and FanDuel and Caesars and every damn other sports book.
That's a hypocrisy home run.
I mean, how does it go past that? When now it's a feature of every single game, you can't watch it without being flooded with just gambling in your face.
Yeah.
No, we got to keep Pete out. We got to keep Pete out.
The broadcast, the graphics, the green screens behind home plate for baseball. It's all DraftKings,
right.
FanDuel,
Fantasy
live from the FanDuel studio, all this stuff.
And don't forget,
here's your FanDuel replay of, I mean, everything is that.
And don't forget the money that Major League Baseball is taking in from it.
Good hand over fist.
Because it's not like, hey, we just want to use your name and make sure people know that they can do. No, they're getting paid handsomely. Way more than Pete Rose would have ever bet or won betting on the game. So, just insane.
Yeah. All right, Slick. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use if you shop at MyPillow. Great stuff from Lindell. Support Mike. It's a great way to support the show as well. And we do appreciate, because there's a lot of them out there when you use LFS6B as your promo code. Let's do some news. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, which, of course, is available live from Studio6B.com. Great health supplements, vitamins, all kinds of great stuff. Freedom Force Nutrition. Check it out live from Studio6B.com. 15% off right now. Anything that you buy off the website. Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, the big story, of course, was last night's vice presidential debate where Minnesota governor and Democratic vice president hopeful Tim Walz was on display, along with, of course, Trump pick J.D. Vance from Ohio, the senator. And I think this picture, I know we were kind of looking for different pictures and be like, oh man, what kind of sums this up? This picture here, picture number one, I think this sums up the debate for anybody. I mean, that's basically what you had dealing with. Right? If you want to break it down to the simplest denominator, you have it.
If you could put like a little text bubble outside of JD's mouth there, it would be saying, really, America? Do you really want to do this?
Yeah.
But that's all, folks.
Yeah. This is the guy.
Are you sure about this?
Basically, wrap it.
And And to kind of point you in that direction, here's cut number 6, where Tim Walz, and we talked about this, and we saw it happen throughout the debate, where he's actually nodding along and kind of agreeing with J.D. Vance. This particular agreement, though, about the cartels was stunning, if you ask me. Here's cut number 6. Check this out.
But I didn't accuse Kamala Harris of inviting drug mules. I said that she enabled the Mexican drug cartels to operate freely in this country, and we know that they use children as drug mules, and it is a disgrace, and it has to stop.
He just, you're right. It's almost like he was like, "Oh, you got me on that one. I guess I'll just run to the corner here and pretend I'm thinking about something else because I just got schooled on something as simple as that." Of course, Tim Walz was also asked to clarify his friends with school shooters line, and you know what? There's the answer that he gave for Tiananmen Square, which was a complete and utter lie. Right? We all saw it. We've seen it 100 times. He doesn't answer the question. He was stunned that he got the question, number one, and then his response was after he had to choke back his lunch because he couldn't believe they had asked him about this. Was a mosh. It was a Kamala Harris-like word salad of who he was, where he came from, what he's done in his life, but never answered the question. So he basically lied by omission by not saying, "Look, I shouldn't have said that. It was wrong, and I apologize for it." You know what? That would have gone a whole lot further than the 2-minute rambling session he gave us. And then, of course, he followed it up when they actually did what reporters are supposed to do, ask a follow-up question. He continued it, and he just wouldn't admit that, hey, this didn't happen. I'm lying to you. Well, now, of course, they're asking also to clarify the comment that he has become friends with school shooters, is referring to becoming friends with people where there are shootings. See, now that I could contribute to. I would attribute that to being misspeaking. Right? When he's saying, well, I misspoke about Tiananmen Square. No, that was a lie. This, where you just kind of messed up your words and it came out that you made friends with school shooters, that I would believe is more in the realm of misspeaking. The awkward gaffe during the vice presidential debate, stating that he changed his views on gun policies because he became friends with school shooters, and that has been he's been a National Rifle Association guy for a long time. Walz clarified the comment, of course, at a campaign stop in Pennsylvania, where he told reporters that he meant people who had been impacted by school shootings instead of the shooters themselves. So, again, it was just a parade of stupid when it comes to some of the things coming out of the potential. I won't say he's going to be the vice president. The potential vice president, Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor.
Yeah. Did you have the clips of? I have the clips of him today. I mean, almost doubling down on the lie on the Tiananmen Square thing. Now it's like I got my dates wrong.
Right.
Oh,
it's like,
dude, they always say that.
Just say no. It wasn't there.
Just say it wasn't there.
Good thing they fact checked them on that.
Sorry. This would have been this story would have been over already, but they just can't do it, and that's what we're stuck with.
All right, more news. We're back right after this, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night.
Detroit. Good. Kansas City. Actually, Kansas City now will go to Kansas City now. Take a look.
This guy, I mean, I'm glad he's happy, but throw this up, Aaron.
Yankees and Royals. Saturday. Saturday, 6:30.
Look at this. This is how he gets to Pennsylvania today.
Oh my goodness!
Hi.
I mean, listen. I wish I was that happy all day long.
Oh, you are.
But it's just
off camera. That's the kind of guy you are.
Hey,
Big D walks in like this.
coming to the ring,
Coming in the hallway,
weighing
Big D is just
200
like this.
pounds.
You know what? Pull up a clip on YouTube of what do you call it? Chris Farley walking down the walking into the audience. You'll see it. Basically, it's almost the same.
I mean, it's like The Rock coming in after he's been away from for wrestling for.
Yeah, looks like he smoked a rock.
No, The Rock would be cool. This guy's a banana.
Either that or it's like Tommy Tune taking the stage on Broadway. I don't know which one, but there's no business. I mean, I don't know.
I love a parade.
He looks more like he looks more like he's walking onto the set of like a kid show. You know, either that or Let's Make a Deal. You know what? Let's Make a Deal. He got called out of the audience.
Oh, Bob
Remember Let's Make a Deal?
Yeah.
And then people would freak out. They'd be like, they come running down. That's what he looks like. He's a knucklehead. He calls himself a knucklehead.
That was classic.
Sometimes I'm a knucklehead. A lot of times you're a knucklehead.
Unbelievable.
All right, Delgado, you got more news here?
Yes, I do. I might have a clip or two to throw with it, too.
All right, 13 till the hour one, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Glad you're in. Slick's going to do some more sports coming up. Delgado's got some more news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. We'll continue to get to some thoughts about the debate last night and some news of today. Jack Smith and election interference right in our face once again with Judge Chutkin. I'm sure they spoke last night after the debate. I'm sure they got their talking points out to the media because the media is all over it. Oh my God, look at this. Total bombshell today. He wanted them to riot, don't you know? So they're all over it. Obviously planned, obviously timed, probably pushed up and rushed today because of last night.
Mm-hmm.
But right in your face. Election interference, right in your face. No total disregard for Department of Justice norms, where they say, but all norms have been out the window with this Department of Justice. All norms.
Well, the ends justify the means, Damon.
This is actually starting to make James Comey no reasonable prosecutor deal look like child's play compared to what they're doing here. So, but let's do some more news and hear what that is. Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition, available live from Studio6B.com. 15% off. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, I don't know if you heard about this story. This one kind of caught me by surprise. Turns out the second gentleman, also known as Doug Emhoff, the husband of Kamala Harris, well, he's a bit handsy, it turns out. He's got a bit of a violent temper as a bombshell allegation that Kamala Harris's husband once slapped a former girlfriend in the face so hard he spun her around in public view outside of an A-list gala in France, and it's been met with utter silence from the Harris campaign. This is the campaign, of course, of good character and of joy, and they constantly remind us that she's a prosecutor and how she protects victims. Well, they are being extremely quiet, perhaps because they know they need to ignore this so it doesn't get out of hand. MSNBC's Jen Psaki, President Biden's former press secretary, just conducted a sit-down with Emhoff that lacked any resemblance of actual real journalism, and actually gushed that,
Did you think Psaki was going to say, so now let's talk about this time? What do you think she was going to do?
Right. Well, she of course, I don't know if you saw parts of it. She was just, all over about his masculinity and his perception of masculinity. So you've got this story that is now breaking out, allegedly described, again, as a slap in public that spun the girl around. And conveniently, the mainstream media doesn't want to talk about it. Emhoff's most recent accuser, whose pseudonym is Jane, dated him in 2012. She reportedly recounted how he came in hot, love-bombed her, and introduced her to his son Cole, then a teenager, on the first date. Said that she found the whole thing, including Doug bumming a cigarette from Cole, his own son, a bit weird. Reportedly got impressions that Emhoff's wife usually had the upper hand in their divorce. And then 2 months after that first date, during a heady trip to a star-studded Cannes charity gala on May the 24th, Emhoff allegedly slapped Jane across the face. One of Jane's friends, an elite New York City businessman, said he got a phone call from her moments later. It was hard to hear her because she was sobbing. She told me that she was with this guy and he hit her. Jane allegedly said she had offered the valet money to skip the long line outside the gala and put her hand on his shoulder. Emhoff seemingly saw Jane's gesture as flirting, and he didn't like that. So basically, he put hands to face. That is the second gentleman, known as Kamala Harris's husband.
Piece in the New York Post today about this exact thing. Someone's talking about it, at least. If cheater and alleged abuser Doug Emhoff is the new face of masculinity, the Dems are up a creek. And she says, if Doug Emhoff is the new face of masculinity, I'll take a hard pass. Give me the Marlboro Man or anyone who was in the Gillette ad before the razor company decided to lecture America about the inherent crappiness of males. Or give me someone who hasn't been accused of forcefully slapping their girlfriend in public, even as he's heralded as the biggest lift up the ladies dude since Jerry Springer played the masculine feminist on Married with Children. Just 3 days ago, Jen Psaki was gushing over feminism with Kamala Harris's husband, telling Emhoff that he, quote, reshaped the perception of masculinity and was a wife guy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Make me puke.
He lifts up women with his right hand.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so there you have it. That little bit of news coming out earlier today. And then, of course, MSNBC basically melting down because they want you to not see what you saw on the debate. They want to tell you what you saw on the debate. Here's them, cut number 5, trying to tell everybody, don't believe your eyes, believe what we tell you. Check this out.
Yeah. And I actually think if you're a woman, that might be the worst moment J.D. Vance had, because he was going to mansplain right over that mute button. He was, and again, I don't pretend to know how everyone will react to this. I think that a lot of women in positions of authority that should command respect just by virtue of that dynamic will see themselves in some dude that disrespected them and talked over. I mean, there was a moment like that with then Vice Presidential in the Harris-Pence debate.
Please, God, get her off the screen.
Do a double bomb.
Talk about a disaster.
Yeah,
Nicole Wallace.
Oh, you don't? I
mean, that was J.D. Vance's best moment of the night. By the way, that was one of his best moments of the night. Dropping the hammer on what's her face. Oh, we checked with him in Ohio and legal status. No. That was one of his best moments. That was brilliant, actually.
Yeah. Well, what was brilliant is that
he kept talking.
Yeah, that they turned his mic off, because then it shows the American people, told you, this is what they do. They're trying to silence you. They don't want you to know what's actually going on. And when he was telling them what's actually going on, that's when they freaked out.
Yeah, called them right out.
Yeah.
The deal was you weren't going to fact check. And since you're fact checking me, let me explain. How about, but we have so much to get to. I'm just going to keep going. That was great.
Yeah.
Women are going to be like, oh, he's talking. The double standard when it comes to women, how we think of them, how they're treated. Kamala Harris's husband, this story breaks about Kamala Harris. If you remember, when Brett Kavanaugh sat in front of her, do you remember how she treated him?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how important that story of that woman, who they had zero evidence about, was treated? Well, where is the media with the same fervor following up this story about Kamala Harris' husband?
Yeah.
It's hearsay.
Don't you remember? It was believe all women.
Yeah.
You have to believe them.
Wonder what suburban women think now.
Unbelievable, the double standard of just what they want to talk about, what they want to forget, what they don't want to forget.
It's not a double
That doesn't surprise us. I mean, obviously.
It's not a double standard. They have no standard.
That's a good point.
Well, if it wasn't for double standards, yeah, they'd have
doubling down.
Speaking of masculinity, I thought I'd include this clip because this kind of fits in with it. Here, check this out. This is cut number 2 from last night. This guy steps in after this old man gets punched and robbed. And, this is masculinity, not Doug Emhoff. That's what masculinity
Police said,
does.
did he murder anybody? No? Okay.
Yeah,
we're
let him
going to let him go.
We're going to give him a field ticket.
Attempted robbery is, what city is that, do you know?
That was L.A.
Oh, we can't. You got a ticket for jaywalking.
The good thing is that guy's face was pretty broken up from the street, so
Good.
he'll have a reminder of it.
Fran, 9:30's canceled.
Copy that.
What do we have against it?
Possibly because she made an appearance at 7:30.
I made that somewhat known.
How's Diddy's case going? Anything doing?
Yeah, I got something on Diddy's case.
It's certainly going.
It's definitely going.
It's growing.
It's cray-cray. I believe the word is cray-cray.
Yeah, I heard that. Don't tell me Flavor Flav is involved.
Flavor Flav.
What time is it?
Chat. What's going on, chat? Chat.
They want to know what color your shirt is. Hard questions is asking. I told him, looks like a washed out lavender.
What do you mean washed out?
Well, just like when it's it's not like
you've had it for a few years.
My sister said she wants your shirt.
This shirt is nice. This is nice.
So are you willing to give it up?
He doesn't have to. He'll tell her the boutique
or at
he
least
got
tell
it
her
from.
where'd you get that from?
I'll tell her.
Well, it doesn't sound like you want to. Should I tell her that you're not willing to?
No, I'll tell her.
He's not willing to tell. He doesn't want you to know.
I don't need everybody walking around like Slick Rick. No. I'm like kidding.
See, there's the truth of it.
No, it's for your sister, absolutely.
He said go to hell.
No, I did not say that.
Where he got it because he doesn't want anyone looking like him walking around.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go to hell. He's got to put.
You're on your own.
He's always got to put a spin on.
Back to H&M.
I got it from ASOS. Tell her I got it from ASOS, which is short for asshole. These women are bullies. I love that guy. What a face plant that was, man.
Yeah.
Man, must have been one of the cooks.
Becky Snyder says it's a nice color. Thank you, Becky.
It is. It's like a washed out lavender.
Mr. V says, do real men wear pink?
Yes, of course they do.
Of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Even President Trump, he has a nice pink tie he wears every now and then. I used to love his ties. The
Moon
Trump
Pie
ties.
says real men wear pink. Thank you very much.
That's right.
This is a pink shirt.
Is it pink?
It is now.
Oh, okay.
Damon's shirt color is sick salmon color. Sick salmon? Why is my salmon sick?
It's not sick salmon. Oh, well,
In other words, like a salmon.
It went from pink to pale.
Swimming around and dying.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like your shirt.
It looks like a
dead
you know
fish.
what?
Your shirt is like a dead fish.
That looks like a Welch's grape.
No, you are.
No, you are.
No, I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah, whatever you say, bounce off me, sticks to you.
All right, 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour 2. 9 o'clock. Live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice. Wednesday, October 2nd. Slick's going to do some sports. Delgado's going to do some more news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Kevin Downey Jr. will be with the boys tomorrow night. Vinny Mac will be back on Friday with the boys. And I'll be off doing college tours.
There goes half our audience now.
So, more than that. So I'll be off. I will be off. Damon is not flaming, and this is not lilac I'm wearing. This is pink.
That looks like lilac.
That looks like lilac.
I will be off doing some college.
Now, what are you going to wear?
Because my kids are off from school for happy. By the way, I think I said it in the break. Let me say it on there. We wish all of our friends of the Jewish faith a happy Rosh Hashanah, happy New Year. So my kids are off Thursday and Friday from school because of the Jewish holidays. So nice. We're going to take that opportunity to go do some college visiting.
Now, are you gonna wear something like that on the tour? Something?
I might wear this shirt exactly. Yes.
How many
so you don't want them to get in? Is what
how many colleges have you visited? About 50?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
That was a lot more than that.
No. We did 3 of the SUNY schools in New York, which I think I'd rather send them to Baghdad if they have a university than send them to one of the SUNY schools in
Libya.
New York. We have somebody we know that's very close to us.
Libya, baby.
At a SUNY school, and when we visited her, all I wanted to do was pack her up and take her out of there. And that's of many things about the state. But you look at some of the state schools that you have in other places. Man, you got some good schools that are state schools.
I know.
No, not here. And you hear people say that they talk highly about some of the. I was like, one of them we got on the tour, and girl comes up and she says, welcome to the tour. My name is. My pronouns are. I said, we got to go.
My pronoun is out the door.
Damon's pronouns were
him
see
there,
and
out
later.
of here. Hey, him there, out of here.
When it starts like that, it's like, you just ruined the whole experience.
It can't go anywhere but down after that.
Anyhow.
Yeah. So.
Well, have fun.
Huh?
I said have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Make the best
I
of it.
always love hanging out with them. So.
Yep. Hold on to your wallet.
Boy, ain't that the truth, man? You just can't justify any of them.
No.
Can't justify any of them. They're all just such an absolute ripoff, right? I mean, it's just such a ripoff. It is, as Charlie Kirk appropriately titled his book, a scam.
He's right.
It's got to be the biggest ruse going.
Yeah,
he's right.
Well, look who's supplying the money.
Yeah.
As soon as you say, "Oh, we'll give you whatever you want to go to college," the colleges go, "Hey, they're getting whatever they want. Price just went up."
Another endowment coming in from sure.
Of course.
It's like the housing market, and we're going to give people $25,000 for a deposit on their house. Well, that house just went up another $25,000.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing to the housing market? Exactly.
How about 50 grand to start a new business?
Yeah.
What the hell are you going to do with 50 grand? What kind of business can you start with 50 grand? Hot dog cart? Come on.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what I'll be doing for 2 days, but you'll be in good hands. KDJ tomorrow night, Vinnie Mac on Friday, and the boys. So let's talk about Jack Smith. Brianna Lynn over at the Federalist has some thoughts, but when you break it down to the simplest level, which is where I mostly operate, it's election interference, it's coordinated, it's desperate, it reeks of all of that. It goes against all department norms of the Department of Justice, where under any normal, sane administration, they would encourage prosecutors, especially as James Comey tried to tell us, to stay away from anything this close to the election. They absolutely just don't care. They absolutely don't care. They are desperate. They watched last night. They could care less about the Supreme Court. They don't care what they said. They don't care what their rulings are. They have no interest in fighting over what was private and what was official. They're just going to do what they do in the hopes that their friends in the media get all this red meat to go out there and talk about, pull every little sentence out of this thing. There's no reason for this thing to have been made available, redacted as it is today, other than that. No other justification other than right clear in your face election interference. Let's see if we can tip this thing back towards her.
Yeah.
Before it gets too far out of hand. There's no other explanation. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. This could have dropped on November 6th, but it wouldn't have had the same effect for what they wanted it for. With lawfare case in shambles, Jack Smith airs his Trump hatred in unusual 165-page filing. Smith's filing comes just in time for the Harris-Walz campaign to try to make January 6th the top campaign issue. Oh, geez, what did we spend the last 20 minutes of the debate on? Oh, what do you know? I wonder if they knew this was coming. Let's make sure we get some January 6th talk in there, girls, because you know what's coming on Wednesday, remember? With his lawfare efforts collapsing, Special Counsel Jack Smith seized on what Politico described as his last chance before Election Day to submit a 165-page filing smearing former President Donald Trump. Unsealed Wednesday, the filing serves no real purpose except to create fodder for Democrats ahead of the election. That's exactly all it is. It's for the media to go find their little buzzwords in there like crime and riot and let them do it and take everything out of context and just roll with it. And that's what they've done all day long. Judge Tanya Chutkan made Smith's 165-page filing public on Wednesday, just days after she granted Smith's request to file the oversized brief. Filings are usually limited to 45 pages. His is 165, and of course she'd allowed it.
Of course.
The filing alleges that Trump and his co-conspirators, quote unquote, made knowingly false claims of election fraud, which were then used in furtherance of 3 conspiracies. Allegedly, the conspiracies include a conspiracy to interfere with the federal government function of which the nation collects and counts election results, which is so absolutely ludicrous. A conspiracy to obstruct the official proceeding in which Congress certifies the legitimate results of the presidential election, and a conspiracy against the rights of millions of Americans to vote and have their votes counted. The crux of Smith's filing is that Trump used false claims of election fraud to disrupt the electoral process. Ellie Honig, senior legal analyst at CNN, said, quote, "There are a couple of unusual things about the way this happened," end quote. So first of all, ordinarily when it comes to time for motions, the defense goes first, he said on CNN. Here, Jack Smith said a few weeks ago, Judge Chutkan, we want to go first. Oh, what do you know? And Judge Chutkan actually said, well, that's quite unusual, but we'll let you go first. Oh, you know, this is like the judge in New York.
Yeah.
Lets everything in that shouldn't be in, then afterwards goes, oh, you know, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't have let all this stuff in. Well, it's out there now. So then now you want to act like the good guy and act like, oh, this may have gone too far after you've allowed it to go too far? And the effect of that now is that we essentially have Jack Smith's case, at least on paper, at least the parts that have not been redacted, 30-something days before the election. Whereas we might not otherwise have had it. Well, we shouldn't have had it. The brief comes after Smith filed the superseding indictment against Trump in August, arguing in part that Trump's First Amendment right to question the outcome of an election created mistrust and anger and erode public faith in the administration of the election. Every Democrat has done the exact same thing for every election they haven't won forever. This whole idea of this quote-unquote fake electors, we have had dual sets of electors sent to Congress. That is not unusual in this country. We've had it happen before. The Constitution lays out the the situation for state legislatures and how the electors come to Congress and how Congress can treat them and what happens if there's a discrepancy. Congress goes, the Senate goes, they separate. We've gone through all of this. To act like this is some out-of-the-box, strange concoction made up by just Trump and Pence and their administration and Mark Meadows and all of them over just this election is crazy. The superseding indictment followed the Supreme Court's July ruling. They found a president has absolute immunity. They don't care what the Supreme Court. Again, when we talk about what's at stake in this election, they have total disregard for the Supreme Court now with the makeup of the Supreme Court. Can you imagine what the Supreme Court would be if they had the Senate and the presidency? The Supreme Court would be over as far as how we've always known it to be. There would be no more. That is maybe not priority number one. I think making 18 million illegals citizens is priority number one. So they have the forever power, never lose another election, never go through any of this again. But very close to the top, number 2 or 3, is completely, if not dissolving, changing the face of the Supreme Court forever so that they control the voting, they control the elections, they control the judiciary, and then they control everything. That's what's at stake. Trump's lawyers had argued that the government aims to proffer their untested and biased views to the court and the public as if they're conclusive. That's exactly right. It's the old... It always comes back to Pelosi.
Yeah, the wrap-up smear.
In the old wrap-up smear.
Yep.
Let's get it out there, have our friends in the media point at it and go, oh, look. And then everybody goes, oh.
And then they start writing about it.
Give it credence.
Yes.
And there you go.
Then they market it. And that's the, as she likes to do with her hand, the wrap-up smear. It's...
Trump's lawyers argued the brief would run afoul of the Justice Manual, which of course it does, which prohibits federal prosecutors from selecting the timing of any action, including investigative steps, criminal charges, or statements for the purpose of affecting any election. Chutkan said, quote, the court need not address the substance of those claims, as if to say,
it doesn't matter.
Election 33 days away? We don't care about no stinking election.
Say whatever you want.
We need to get the advantage back in our court. All right, more on this, more sports, more news coming up.
Hello.
Chat. What's going on, chat?
You have a tick?
No, I don't know. Damon, consider Hillsdale College. I love Hillsdale, but I think that's in Michigan, right? Angry Damon is the best Damon?
The only Damon.
That's not true.
Okay. You're very passionate.
Yeah.
Aaron's cracking up.
Now, where are you going on this trip? Are you going upstate or different states?
Botswana.
Virginia.
Oh, okay.
But yet going south. Nice.
Now, does he want to go away or does he want to stay close to Nome?
He doesn't know. There's no way getting out of this.
So you got 2 reads here.
Wait, Damon will actually be a traveling gnome this weekend.
We should get you a hat.
He'll be a true traveling gnome.
You need to get a little hat.
Every truck stop he can pull out and put that statue on the front of the hood.
Chat, stop laughing.
Stand in front of every school.
Stop the comments.
Traveling gnome. Oh, man.
Put a 1 in the chat if you think Slick Rick and Delgado are funny. Put a 2 in the chat if you think they're lame.
Oh.
Go. Oh.
And then he's going to turn off the chat.
1 for you agree with them. 2 for you agree with me. Go. I want to see the 2s. Come on. What do you mean LOL 1?
Laugh out loud.
1?
No brainer.
1. Bunch of 1s. 3. I saw 3. I don't know what. I didn't give it 3. 1. Oh, 0. 2. I saw.
Trash man. With a name like that, what do you expect?
1.
A lot of ones.
1.
You got CMP. You got a couple there. Drag Blacker gives it 3.
Tonight's the last night we're
Drag
streaming
Blacker.
on socials.
Drag Blacker, a true wise ass at heart. He's a true wise ass at heart, Drag Blacker.
Where are the 2s?
The YouTube.
There are no 2s.
I saw a couple.
Oh, you did.
I saw like 4 2s on Rumble.
Moon Pie is very political.
This is now
I
2s
can't play favorites.
2s are rolling in, so you guys are lame.
I just see 1s. I see 1s.
Kick only has 1s, but there's only 2.
Oh my goodness,
Okay,
1s.
That's a good one. Someone said, "Why don't you go visit Gnome or Dame?"
Yeah, that would be a good one. Right?
Aaron liked that one.
That's a good one there. That's a good one. Well, it sounds like the blue. Stop laughing, Slick. What am I reading, Fran, here?
Is no idea.
Birch?
Birch and My Patriot Supply.
Birch and My Patriot Supply. Well, our friends from Birch Gold, you know what's going on with inflation. Massive tax hikes proposed by Harris. Almost a 40% top income tax rate. 7% increase to the corporate tax rate. Capital gains tax. Taxing unrealized gains. Oh, your house went up $100,000. You owe us $25,000. Oh, I didn't sell the house though. It doesn't matter. And the fact that she's proposing to add almost $2 trillion to the current $2 trillion deficit. Well, you might be thinking after all that, I think it's time to make more of my savings. If you've been lucky enough to actually have savings, you might want to make it tax sheltered and inflation sheltered. And Biden and Harris sheltered. This is where you trust the good people at Birch Gold Group to help you out. Birch Gold can assist you in converting an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. And the best news is you don't pay a penny out of pocket to do it. Just text the word America, send it to 989898 and get a free information kit on gold. There's no obligation, just information on how you can fortify your savings before the crazy really hits. With an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, thousands of satisfied customers, you can trust Birch Gold. Text the word America. Send it to 989898 for your free information kit and see if gold as a hedge against inflation is right for you. Text America. Send it to 989898. What'd you say, friend? Wellness company? Yeah, that one. Well, you don't need to tell me that life is precious. That it could all get taken away in an instant. That's why you got to keep a 4-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply in your house. It's got everything your family could need during a crisis. Over 2,000 calories a day. There's enough to go around during times of social unrest, government crackdowns, or God forbid an attack on the homeland. I got an email from someone thanking us for the My Patriot Supply read and commercial and having them on the show. And guess where they live? In Florida. And guess what?
They were affected by that?
They sure were. And guess what they're relying on right now? All the food they have.
That's awesome.
Food lasts up to 25 years, ready whenever disaster strikes. We've seen mass panic in our lifetimes before. Some of it wasn't that long ago. I know you're not going to take your family's safety for granted. So right now you can get $50 off the 4-week emergency food kit. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com, save $50 on your 4-week emergency food kit. My Patriot Supply will send it over as fast as humanly possible. Your order will show up. Some places it'll show up in 1 day, and it'll ship for free. So get your 4-week emergency food kit at MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com. Think about that email I got, and you think, man, it could never happen to me. Oh, you're wrong. Could happen anywhere. You never know when weather's going to strike, disaster's going to strike, something's going to strike. Boy, you're going to feel better having that food on hand and knowing. I mean, look at the dock strike. I don't know if it's going to affect all food. It may affect some food. MyPatriotSupply.com is the place to go to put those fears to rest. MyPatriotSupply.com. All right, 20 minutes past the hour. Let's do sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the code to use if you shop at MyPillow. Great stuff from Lindell. Great way to support him. Great way to support us and the show. Use our code LFS6B at checkout. Slick, what's going on?
All right, BD, let's get you updated on that Mets game in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Brewers hosting the Mets, trying to even the series at 1. Mets right now holding on 3-2 lead heading into the top of the 6th inning. Boy, it's something if the Mets get out of there. And the Padres are pounding the Braves. Braves took a 1-0 lead early. It's in the top of the 3rd. Padres 5 unanswered runs, and they're looking to close that series out too. Could be another. Listen, we could have 4 sweeps here, Big D. It's unbelievable. They'll have more brooms than a stagehand at a Fiddler on the Roof play. So we got something going on there. Let's get to the NHL action preseason. People saying, "Oh, Slick Rick, you're not talking about NHL." I'm not a big preseason fan, but I'll give you the scores because they play a lot of preseason games there. Predators right now leading the Hurricanes 6-3. They're in Carolina, 10 to go in the 3rd, 6 to go in the 3rd. Panthers over the Lightning, 1-0 out in Tampa. The Flames and Jets tied at 2, 8:41 to go in the second period there. Oilers are going to open up a can of Kraken and take on the Kraken at 10 p.m. out in Seattle. And the Utah Hockey Club, I guess a team to be named later, taking on the Anaheim Ducks out in Anaheim, 10 p.m. First puck drop. NBA, we got the Celtics and the Nuggets. That's going to be on Friday. Breakers and Jazz and the Timberwolves Lakers all opening up Friday NBA preseason in action. And tomorrow night we got odds makers. Big D, Buccaneers traveling down to Atlanta to get their Mercedes on, and they're going to be playing the Atlanta Falcons. So we'll also keep track of that. Aaron, get your pick ready tomorrow night, 8:15. Right now, Atlanta -1 right now. 1.5, 1, whatever you want to say. It's pretty much whoever wins is going to take it. So.
And Tampa's 3-1.
Yep.
Atlanta's only 2-2, but Atlanta's favored by 1. Of course, they're home, so.
That's
your over-under is 44 in that game.
Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, those guys, they're helter-skelter kind of guys. You don't know what kind of night they're going to have. So
Jets going to Minnesota on Sunday, Aaron, after that dud.
No, Jets going to London, Big D.
Well,
that's at 9:30 a.m.
Going to London. That's
London
right, 9:30 a.m. You're right.
Hey, I don't know, boy.
Play Minnesota, who's 4-0.
Yeah. And to take on good old Aaron Donald, that's going to be a beauty, huh?
Minnesota's
Sam
only
Donald.
-2.5. I'm calling it now. Jets outright win.
I'm with you on
Because the spread is too low.
Too low. 4-0 team with a team that just lost to Denver, could only put 9 points on the board, having to travel.
Yeah.
And Minnesota's only favored by 2.5 under the touchdown.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to think all they got to do is win by 3. That's easy money to take Minnesota.
Yep.
No, is Dikembe
The great Dikembe
Jets
Mutombo.
outright win. Big D calls it here on Wednesday.
All right,
like it.
Big D.
If your team makes me look foolish, I'll come Monday, Aaron.
Yeah, it's kind of like Baltimore. I couldn't see
Yeah, I'll
Baltimore.
make a call. I'll make sure they do good.
Yeah, put in a good
going-
word for Damon.
Yeah, I will.
Going 1-3 against Buffalo, losing that game because Baltimore's such a good team. And just one quick story. Well, it's not that quick, but I'm going to try to paraphrase a little bit through Breitbart. Women blindsided by towering transgender volleyball player launch lawsuit against the NCAA. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart, a group that says it's representing female athletes, has launched a lawsuit against the NCAA after the women were blindsided by the inclusion of an unannounced transgender player for the San Jose State University women's volleyball team. Concerned Women of America, CWA, filed a lawsuit after the NCAA cleared 6'1" Blair Fleming, who identifies as a woman, to play for San Jose this season without telling the rest of the conference that he would be playing, according to Fox News. And we want to protect the integrity of women's sports, but also the safety of these female athletes, CWA Representative Macy Petty told Fox News. Many of these schools were unaware that there was a male athlete on this team until this news article came out in April, Petty continued. We just want to make sure that these schools know exactly what is going on in the athletic program, because the NCAA and SJSU had not previously given them the decency to even let them know what was happening. Female athletes there were put in this odd position of showing up on the court and looking at the other side and realizing that something was different about this game, Petty said. I've never seen an athlete play like this before, which makes total sense considering that the athlete, first of all, is not female, but the net is 7 inches shorter than it should be for male players, which that's also dangerous. Petty added that the female athletes feel blindsided by the NCAA and San Jose because they were never told of Fleming's status and inclusion.
This is one spot, by the way. I forgot to say this last night, and I was thinking it during the debate, that the moderators did a good job of keeping Waltz away from it, because this should have been brought up, because Waltz has been as radical as anybody in the country on these trans issues, and he got away with scot-free last night. Nothing was even talked about it.
Yeah.
So
They ran cover for the coach.
All right, more sports and news coming up. Live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday. Because people are worried about
toilet paper.
People are going back to COVID time.
Right.
The toilet paper buys, the crazy buys.
Well, that's why I think.
Is that what you saw people doing today?
The sport thing, I think, got a lot of people's attention. So I saw that a lot. I was looking around. I'm like, this is because I normally go around the 1-2 o'clock area during that time during the week, and it always looks the same. Nothing actually grabs my attention. This grabbed my attention that everybody was flocking to get paper goods, toilet paper.
Now the Democrats going to say, "Look at the economy's doing good."
They were walking around with two of the big ones where you put a lot of stuff on it, the flat ones, not just a regular shopping cart.
Hey, let's pull up Speaker Johnson's. If we could let's find Speaker Johnson's statement on Jack Smith's blatant election interference today. Can someone pull that up so we can cover that in news?
Speaker Johnson?
Yeah. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House.
Was it a video statement or
I heard of him.
a submitted statement?
You've heard of him?
Your guess is as good as mine, Fran. That's the point. Don't go looking for it, because there isn't one. God, guy was what a disaster.
He is.
How long? This all day. This thing's been stewing. Not a word from this guy. Not a word.
Crickets. Mets got a couple of guys on base. They bring a couple of guys in, boy. That'd be something if the Mets swept the Braves. I still can't get over the Royals just walking over the Orioles.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Like, unbelievable. Kansas City. Imagine that. The Super Bowl champion and a baseball champion. That ain't gonna happen. Kansas City's.
You don't know.
I don't think so.
Dude, a team just has to get hot for a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's not tough. A lot of teams that weren't the best teams.
Not easy.
that weren't the best teams were World Series champions.
I mean, look at the Mets. I mean, the Mets going into the season were going to be a joke.
That's true.
And look at where they are.
And
they're about to go to the division series
recently. That was a good.
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B, 9:30, hour 2. Real America's Voice. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's going to do some news. Aaron Fran holding it down as always. I asked Delgado in the break to go get Speaker Mike Johnson's statement that he put out about Jack Smith's blatant interference.
And I have it here.
Okay, let me hear it.
Let's see. Mike Johnson floats defunding special count. Oh, wait, this is from May.
Oh, floated. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, but what about the statement today? Like 33 days out from the election, you're the leader of the. You're somehow the Speaker of the House.
Yes.
Where's your statement on Jack Smith's blatant election interference? Read that one to me. Go ahead. Ready, go.
Mike Johnson's surprising remarks, and this is in Politico of all places, believe it or not. Surprising remarks about Jack Smith. This is from May 9th.
No, get the one from today. The one that you would clearly come out with as the Speaker of the House when your candidate is under absolute lawfare attack from a rogue judge. Yes.
I think I found it. It was a little audio blurb he released.
Oh, okay. Let me hear it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. That sounds about right. There you go. There it is. That is it. Fran actually found the most definitive statement we could find from the Speaker of the House today, as our candidate is under a blatant election interference attack from a rogue judge and a roguer prosecutor. And that's what we get from him today. Nothing. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. All right, let's do some more news and hear what that's. Rick Delgado, what's going on?
All right. Well, of course, the other big story, the Hurricane Helene, as Joe Biden actually bumbled out along with Kamala Harris to survey the damage brought on by Hurricane Helene in two key states. Vice President Harris took a pause from the campaign trail on Wednesday to visit the neighborhood ravaged by Hurricane Helene, where more than half the residents don't have power and many don't have running water, consoling a woman who said she had lost her husband. There's real pain and trauma that has resulted because of this hurricane, she said. And, of course, we told you what's going to happen, when she gets there. She's handing out big checks, huge checks for $750. That should help replace your husband. Meanwhile, President Biden spent about an hour flying over Asheville, North Carolina, by helicopter. You can see homes that are moved clearly from one side of the river down the river to the other side, he said. Okay, thanks for the obvious there, Captain. Communities like Chimney Rock are reduced to piles of wood and rubble. Biden and Harris are trying to reassure residents hurt by the massive storm that the federal government will help the region recover. Making good on a promise is a critical test for the administration in this election year, particularly in swing states of North Carolina and Georgia, where Biden and Harris have visited. And you know why they visited? Because they are swing states. That's the only reason why they're visiting them. Biden said it wasn't about politics, though. At this moment, we put politics aside. At least we should put it aside. And we have, we have here, Biden said in a briefing, the emergency
quote,
operations. Yeah, quote unquote. He's really good at this public speaking stuff.
Man.
Meanwhile, on the other side, here's CNN yesterday talking about what's going on when they talk about hurricanes or Hurricane Helene and how Trump is being treated when it comes to the hurricane and everything that's going on. This cut number 3 again from yesterday, CNN, how Trump is being treated for the hurricane and the relief effort. Check this out.
He is being treated not just as a former president, but almost as though he is a sitting president. As Boris, you just noted, getting a briefing from FEMA, getting a briefing from the National Guard. That is not something that is typically just offered to a candidate. They are treating him as though he is a former president who is there to help. And one thing that I had noticed earlier during our 1 p.m. conversation was that Donald Trump did not have that much to offer in terms of resources since he is not a sitting president. But I will note that he and the the campaign say that they have arrived in that area with trucks full of supplies that they plan on giving out. So there is something there for them to offer. He also said that he had a tanker truck full of gasoline, which obviously, if you've ever covered one of these storms, you understand that one of the first things and hardest things to come by is gasoline. So he said that he was going to be giving that out. He is clearly taking this seriously as a politician is on the ground, trying to show that he is there in support of the people on the ground in Georgia.
Yeah, and again, this was before today, where President Biden and Vice President Harris decided to make their appearance. So,
yeah, I mean, I played that clip the other morning on my morning stream, and even the way she tries to frame why Trump is there, and as we said, people in this situation, they just want some hope.
Yeah,
they just want to see something that gives them hope. Oh well, she's being treated like he's there. And he says he's got something, so maybe there is something that's worthwhile him showing up. But I mean, it's worthwhile him showing up for the sake of just showing up. He does, even if he brought nothing.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just knowing
These reporters are just,
they're awful. They're awful people.
Well, beyond.
Just the worst.
Yeah. Over in Pennsylvania, we know that's a state that both candidates need to win, and it's in play, of course. Well, this is what, and you sit there and you wonder, it's like, how could anybody vote for the other side? And we're talking about the Biden-Harris administration. We're talking about how could they vote for Vice President Harris when they've just lived through the last 3.5, 4 years, and they take stock of what they've seen, how they've been affected, how their families have been affected, maybe how their pocketbooks have been affected, how the country has been affected, and internationally how things have been affected with wars breaking out all over the place. But this Pennsylvania voter kind of gives you an idea, and this is from today, cut number 1. This Pennsylvania voter gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. When you talk about how could this race be even close, here is this Pennsylvania voter proving why liberals are so stupid. Listen to this.
The economy, we know, has overwhelmingly been polled as the biggest concern among voters in Pennsylvania. That is something that the former president tends to lead Harris as well as Walz on. What's your take on that, and what's most important to you as a voter?
Listen to this.
So in Pennsylvania, under Trump's presidency, I forget the specific number, but he had added maybe 60 million jobs to Pennsylvania.
60.
And if we remove COVID from that as the baseline and we use that 60 million, Biden's administration added like 196. It was more than double what he added. So to me, that's a very stark difference and a very
million
clear line
jobs
for where I live and local issue for me. We need that job creation here.
Yeah, 196 million jobs.
That's it, huh?
She's quoting numbers.
Good numbers.
196 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think there's 196 million people that are old enough to work in this country.
That's good.
I mean, Delgado, don't get into the weeds here.
That's right.
It's just amazing.
Side jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
How many jobs you have, man?
Yeah, exactly.
No joke.
You're dealing with Jamaicans.
I have 10 jobs, man. Yeah. Come on, you slacker. Remember that from Living Color?
Yes, in Living Color. And then, of course, we go to one of CNN's brightest stars, Jim Acosta, who basically he knows what American voters really want to talk about. And he wants to know what they want to know. As you can hear him try and shut down I believe this is Representative Tom Cotton. Cut number 2. This is Jim Acosta. Check this out.
You know what I can say, Jim? I can say that 13,099 murderers were let into this country, 16,000 rapists, 425,000 people in the last 4 years have been let into this country by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's own Customs and Border Protection that are running around this country, Jim.
The other thing, too, it's Kamala Harris.
Crimes.
I don't know. Why do you guys say Kamala? It's Kamala Harris.
Jim, we know that they're committing crimes against Americans. Why can't these individuals talk about the individuals who've been killed by illegal immigrants? 13,099 murderers have been let into this country by this administration's own accounting, and you guys don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he just wants to talk about the correct pronunciation of Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamamama.
Jim Acosta.
Yep.
He's a rising star.
That's what I hear. All right. Anything else, Delgado?
Yeah, I got the Diddy story. You want an update on Diddy?
Oh, we need that.
Oh, my
since
goodness.
We're playing, before we get to Diddy, since we're playing clips of our favorite shows, this is from MSNBC. This was, I don't know who this is. I didn't catch his name. But I guess he was kind of an anti-Trump impeachment witness who went on MSNBC to talk about who he's voting for, and Ari Melber brought him on, I guess thinking for sure that he was, Peter Navarro was on, that this guy was going to be on to hammer Trump. Well, here's how that went.
A no for you after that. Why was it important for you to say no more
Gordon
Trump because of his
Sondland.
January 6th conduct, and do you stand by that?
No, I don't stand by it, and I'll tell you why. I've now lived 4 years under the Biden-Harris policies, and I have to say that those policies are not only becoming an existential threat to our country's way of life, but to our allies as well.
So when you,
and
Ambassador, this is I'll let you finish, but
Ari,
this is so striking. You said it was a no for me after that, after January 6th.
I did.
And here we are right now.
I did.
And you're saying it's a yes for you.
It is a yes for me. It is an absolute yes for me. That is how badly the Biden-Harris team have prosecuted their job.
But the whole point you seem to be making was that January 6th and that kind of attack on democracy is bigger than any policy difference.
I am seeing so many attacks on democracy that eclipse January 6th.
So I want to ask Sarah, if
you
we all
ask
are,
me what those are, I'm happy.
No, he doesn't want. No, so he played a clip of himself from October 27th of 2022.
Right.
Well, no, he doesn't want to ask you about what those are.
No.
He wants to go to commercial and have your ass thrown off the set and never to return to the studio is what he'd like right now.
Who invited this guy?
Because he can't believe this.
Yeah. What happened to the other guy?
They're going to lose their job, too.
I wanted the guy we played the clip of there, producers, not this guy. It's the same guy, Ari.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah, don't believe your eyes.
Oh, my goodness.
That didn't go nearly the way he thought it was going to.
Not even close. Wow. I didn't see that one. That was awesome.
And that guy's at least based in reality that please stop with the threats to democracy.
I know.
I mean, when you look at what your party's doing, Ari, I mean, give me a break. And the guy rightly points out, the ambassador rightly points out, there's bigger threats to democracy we're seeing than January 6th. So Ari was having none of that.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a great clip. All right, real quick, I got one last clip. I'll save the Diddy story for the next break as my last thing.
Yeah, save it for Saturday.
Put it with sports.
All right. Here is cut number 6 from yesterday. When you're talking about things going on overseas, we're talking about Israel, we're talking about Iran. Of course, Iran has had it made known to them that they shouldn't do something, and here's both Harris and Biden telling you so. Cut number 6. Check this out.
I wonder, what is your message to Hezbollah and its backer, Iran?
Yes. Don't
come across the border. Don't escalate this war.
That's right.
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly.
That's it.
One word.
That's all you need.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Works great.
Worked wonders.
Yes.
Worked really. I mean,
200 ballistic missiles later.
I mean, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Don't. Hey, did you play that new song you've been playing, friend? Like, I think you've been playing it in, like, the second break of the show that I like, or third break of the show. Did you play that tonight?
Not tonight. I think I played it Monday.
Groovy thing. No, you didn't play it tonight. Okay. Is there anything on Epidemic that has vocals?
Yeah.
Or is it just, it would be timing the bump into it.
Exactly. I usually just download the instrumental so you can blabber over them.
There's probably a better word than blabber. Aaron, I can hear you laughing.
Pontificate, so you can pontificate over the.
Thank you. Pontificate's much better. Blabber's more accurate, but pontificate sounds better.
He's just gnoming on.
Harry!
Harry! Come on, Harry.
Come on, Harry. Where's Harry?
Where's Harry these days? Is he stuck on the couch?
He was here today.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
When you're not here.
Harry's in a lockout.
Starting to feel like he's planning.
He's in a lockout with the locksmith.
Come on, Harry.
Come on, Harry. Where's Harry? Oh, that's the greatest. The J.D. Vance, I think he did a Harry in Michigan or something. Somebody said that J.D. Vance was doing the Harry thing too. Harry, get off the couch.
Really?
Yeah.
He's doing it too?
I think he did. That's what I thought I saw in the chat.
Ruby Ivy, top of the evening, Rick Amorati.
Top of the evening. Ruby Ivy. Oh, she's a good one. She's in the YouTube.
Everybody's doing the Harry.
Harry.
Moonpie says JD mentioned him today.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
Moonpie's on it.
And Charlie Kirk did too.
Mentioned Harry?
Yeah.
Harry's really getting around.
Well, we know that.
But he's always been getting around.
Do we still have that clip handy, the Harry clip? Let's do a little refresher. I haven't seen it.
Old time Lang Syne.
Haven't seen it in a couple days.
Harry, get up, Harry. Harry, get your fat ass out of the couch. You're going to vote for Trump today, Harry. Get up, Harry. Come on, let's go. Let's go, Harry.
Let's go, Harry. That sounds like you, Big D, when we're going somewhere. Let's go, Harry. We got to get out of here.
Hey, mine doesn't sound that nice. Mine's like, come on, Harry, let's go.
Hey, you still seeing that guy?
You want to be a TV star?
Classic moment. Hey, you want to be in the movies? Hey.
You want to come by the studio?
Hey,
I got a bubble machine.
I got a couch.
I'm going to wear all white. All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Kevin Downey Jr. will join us tomorrow night. Vinnie Mac will be back on Friday. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. MyPillow, LFS6B is the code to use. Let's get an update on those Mets. How is it going, Slick?
Well, the Amazons are in Milwaukee, and they're up 3-2. Big D, top of the seventh, holding on.
Wow.
They have a man on first with 2 outs, and if the New York Mets win tonight, they'll be moving on. They'll end up going to they'll go play the Philadelphia Phillies.
Boy, this is the kind
like a buzzsaw.
This is the kind of game that's going to show you what the Mets are going to give you for the rest of the playoffs. Do they blow? This is the kind of game they need to hold on.
Yeah. Yes.
3-2 in the seventh. You got to shut this down and you got to get out of there.
The pitching's got to pull through for them. But yes, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that. Have a full report tomorrow night. And the Padres leading the Braves 5-1 right now as well. If they win, they'll sweep that series. If they hold on, it's only in the middle of the fourth. Still time there. Winner of that will go play the Los Angeles Dodgers. Another buzzsaw. And the Royals will be visiting the Yankees. Big D. They won today. They upset the Orioles, swept them in 2 games straight earlier this afternoon, and they are going to take on the Yankees. The playoffs, this will be the division series. Best of 5 series will start on Saturday, and already in the books is the Tigers at the Guardians. That's a 1:08 first pitch on Saturday as well. So Tigers at the Guardians, Royals taking on the Yankees Saturday night, 6:30 in the Bronx. Padres or Braves, that winner there will take on the Dodgers, and then of course the Mets or the Brewers, if they come back, will be taking on Philly. So there's your baseball updates. NHL action right now. Flames and Jets tied at 2, end of 2. Predators defeated the Hurricanes 6-4 in Carolina earlier, and the Panthers edged the Lightning 2-1 in overtime, lighting the lamp in Tampa. The Panthers did. And the Oilers taking on the Kraken, puck dropping by about 11 minutes. And the Hockey Club of Utah taking on the Anaheim Ducks. That's also a 10 p.m. first pitch. One quick story. Well, no surprise here, but I got to give it to you anyway. WNBA ratings have plummeted since Caitlin Clark and FIFA were eliminated.
Yeah,
Dylan
saw
Glenn,
that
a bright spot. What a shock, right? There's no question that Caitlin Clark impacted the WNBA this year on the court. However, now that she's off the court, her impact is still being felt. WNBA ratings have crashed since the Connecticut Sun eliminated Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever from playoff contention over a week ago. Game 2 of that series, which ultimately led to Indiana's ousting, became the most watched WNBA game in cable history. Now with Clark out of the picture, we can see the disastrous impact her absence has had on WNBA viewership. Game 1 of the series between the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty, a rematch of the 2023 finals, including the defending champion Aces and a team from the largest media market in the country, New York, only drew 929,000 viewers, not even half of what Clark's final game earned. Unbelievable. Even Clark's first playoff game drew 1.84 million viewers, nearly doubling the number of viewers for the Aces and Liberty. Viewership for Game 2 between the Fever and Sun peaked at 3.4 million. So this young lady having quite an impact on the league. But, you listen to these other girls. Oh, no, she's not really that impactful. So I'm going to land my plane on that story, Big D. That's a wrap. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow. LFS6B is the code to use. I did jump into the X chat here on my phone. Yeah, it's all screwed up. I can't see anything. I type something and send it. I can't even see my own comment. I can see a choice few, but there's nothing I can do about it. People saying fix it by tomorrow. Farmer Brooks says fix it by tomorrow night. Okay.
It seems to be mostly relegated to Apple devices mostly, but older Android may also be affected.
Let me call Elon and get this.
Is it a Verizon thing? Are you on Verizon?
Tomorrow. Yes, I'm on Verizon.
Oh, there you go.
I'm on
it's
Wi-Fi.
Probably a Verizon thing.
I don't think it's a Verizon thing.
It's a Verizon thing.
No, it's not.
It's coming.
But it is screwy. It's just stupid.
They're going to shut it all down.
All right, let's do some news. And here with the news is Rick Delgado dropped off from the UFO tonight, right directly to the studio. Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am good.
ET phone home. What's in the news?
Phone Delgado.
ET phone gnome? Huh? What'd you say?
Oh, ET phone gnome. Oh, man.
Hey, I know I mentioned it. Puff Daddy, Diddy, whatever his stupid name is, Sean Combs.
We bad boys for life.
Yeah, his life is getting more interesting as this story continues to evolve. Now you've got a story from Denzel Washington, who got into a verbal argument in public with Sean Combs at a party about 20 years ago, getting into a heated argument at a night of a party. Insiders claim that Denzel screamed, "You don't respect anyone," and stormed away from the hip-hop mogul. They had been partying with them, but they were seen leaving and storming out, according to a source, and they pretty much have not been seen together since. Before that, I guess they had kind of hung around, gone to a few NBA games and such. So you had that, and then of course Ashton Kutcher is terrified Diddy could make up some false allegations, he's saying, about his celebrity friends to clear his name. Why is he terrified? What does he have to be terrified about? Kutcher has been close friends with Combs for about 2 decades, with the duo speaking highly of each other over the years, and the actor even attending one of his infamous white parties. However, in light of the arrest, insiders have claimed Kutcher is terrified that the rap star could say anything, or do anything, or turn on anyone. Well, if it's a lie, it's not going to bother you that much, Ashton. Ashton, you might have a problem. Ashton absolutely regrets his friendship with Diddy, considering what has happened. According to the Daily Mail, he feels lied to, betrayed, and taken advantage of and manipulated. And on top of that, you have the Houston attorney. This is from yesterday. Basically coming out and revealing he is representing about 120 Diddy accusers. This is cut number 8. Check this out. This is Tony Busby, the attorney, revealing what he's up against. Check this out.
As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California. New York, Georgia, and Florida. I want to focus on the ages of these victims.
Now check this out. When
you talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old. We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of. The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you wonder why there are so many alleged victims, that's your answer. We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct. Now, although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time.
Yeah, it's insane. The individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to an audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records, according to the attorney. Again, youngest victim, 9 years old, wow. 14, 15, just insane. And you know what? More
of the same guy who in that same interview said the names will... You'll be shocked at the names or something like that. He said something like there's other names that are going to come out that will shock you or something like that.
Yeah, I believe it was him as well because of the other people that are involved that are seen on video with Diddy. So that could be just as guilty.
As always, we salute our military, active and active police, firefighters, first responders. Man, can't believe the show's over. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. I'll see you tomorrow morning. The boys will see you tomorrow night. Friday night, Vinnie Mac. Tomorrow night, Kevin Downey Jr. I'll see you back in this chair on Monday.
There's no place like home.
Have a great rest of your night. Live from Studio 6B.